took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap. The Cardinals and the New York Giants.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Giants. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Check, 43. I'm on.
This is Dion Lewis now in his 9th NFL season. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like...
Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Hassan Reddick. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. On third down, Winston. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this will be taken at the 13. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now a carry by the third-year man. This is Austin Eckler. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Murray, he bootlegs it. Sliding out of the pocket. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time. Nice pass that time by the number 1 pick, Kyler Murray. Also drafted 9th in the Major League Baseball draft. He's the only person ever to be taken top 10 in both sports. Go back to his Allen High School days in Texas. He was 42-0 as a starting quarterback. Freshman year, he was at Texas A&M, then the transfer to Oklahoma, sat behind Baker Mayfield. Then his opportunity came last year. Boy, did he make the most of it. Won the Heisman Trophy and led the Sooners to the college football playoff. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the bootleg. Murray. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No 1st down. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, That'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Cardinals worst in the NFL, 6 of 16 on 4th down last year, but they'll try it here. They'll run for it with Eckler. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down. All right, this is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. So that one a hold of right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Here is Eckler. And he's got some space here. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Austin Eckler with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
And New York set to take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
If they open things up, let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They go play action. Winston. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Now Eckler. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
That's good for 28 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they...
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Austin Eckler His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside. He's found his way through him for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all together.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd and 12, Winston finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now it's Peterson. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's in his own 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Off the bootleg, Murray. That ball complete to Isabella. Give him 32 on the play.
Here we go.
That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is, his ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd down, Eckler. A gain of 10, 1st down, Arizona.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
50's the mark. Come on, dude.
1st down, Murray. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again.
Dion Lewis, touchdown, Giants. Dion Lewis, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost. And now it's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense.
All ball, baby. All ball.
So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, the good stuff. You got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing. Change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Back to you. That's it, baby. We don't work.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Going on the ground with Eckler. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Taken down back at the 18-yard line.
Ricky. Kill.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Murray, this is the tight end Fant. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run here with Eckler. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissic. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Jameis now on first down. And this is Shepard on the catch. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Jameis to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Try to punch it in with Eckler. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They come out here in the I. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Austin Eckler on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Gonzalez good on the extra point.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and short yardage. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. On the return is Peterson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And there'll be time for maybe 1 final play before halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Hey, watch it, watch it.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. So we reach half. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Cardinals to take over. They've got the lead right now, and last week they were able to defeat the Atlanta Falcons here as they try to make it 2 victories in a row. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They started on the ground with Eckler. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. A give, Eckler running to the right. 8 yards here, so that gets him back within striking distance. And now it's 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's Murray. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
To me, the defense was a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Now here we go on 4th down with Murray. Going deep for Hopkins. This is caught inside the 15. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Cardinals push further out in front.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. 2 not to miss to close out Week 6. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Winston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chandler Jones, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and
he's got daylight past the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. Austin Eckler, 65 yards. And the Cardinals push further out in front. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and, oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
And that's going to be intercepted. The all-pro corner, Patrick Peterson. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. After the turnover, here's Murray. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Kyler Fackrell able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Check 9, check 9. Check, crunch, crunch, crunch.
Off the bootleg, Murray. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll try the right side with Eckler. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Check, check, watch 54, watch 54. Hey, we got to get this right.
Off the bootleg, Murray. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They do go for it. It's Murray. Going deep for Hopkins. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone, get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Winston. He completes it to Tate. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 24, 30, the 20. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the enters. And he is in for 6. Touchdown Cardinals. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So another score there. And it's blocked. And the Giants have got it. Look at the big man rumble. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, 20, 10, 5. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
New York set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is,
and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
50's the mic. 50's the mic. It's our time.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Flushed out right. Now Murray has it stripped. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. Past the 20. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are. And now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Chandler Jones in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. So they get pushed back to the 11. And here's 2nd and goal. A 2nd down run with Lewis. The nice footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal. Winston. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet. And you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows. And you might even make a magazine cover or two.
He's hoping for more. The cherry on top, maybe, as this game goes forward.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Well, several media outlets thought Andy Isabella was the top receiver in this year's class out of UMass. He dominated his senior year there. 1,700 yards, 13 touchdowns. They really say that he can just take a top off the defense. He ran a 4.31 40 at the Combine, third fastest of all attendees. And then he was taken 62nd. A lot of experts think he was a major bargain with loads of potential.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. On the ground, it's Eckler. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. O'Shane Ximines. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now a give running left is Eckler. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Mike, 53, Mike.
It's Eckler again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
Murray going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Go. Hit the weight room. Check.
They're going for it. It's Murray. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Murray now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10.
Mike's 50, Mike.
Here's McKissick. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
You ain't going nowhere.
Now Murray, he bootlegs it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This one caught by Isabella. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Check. Watch 54. Get ready.
Back to throw it, Murray. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
To throw, it's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.